Tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai, haere mai ki Tōku Reo. I'm Raimona.
And I'm Kura. Welcome to Toku Reo. What is Toku Reo? It's a fun and new way to learn how to speak Te Reo Māori, based on the popular Te Whanake Māori language resources created by Professor John Moorfield.
Tōku Reo will have you speaking Māori in no time. We've got a little bit of grammar, a little bit of vocab, as well as some exercises to keep you on your toes.
Which is Raimona's way of saying you're going to have to do some work at home.
Sis, you know how it is. No pain, no gain.
That's true.
Don't let me scare you though, because we're starting from scratch together.
And we'll be going at a nice, easy pace with plenty of revision so you don't get lost. To help reinforce what you're learning, or if you want more homework, we've got a Tōku Reo website with interactive exercises as well as lessons to download onto your iPod, so you can keep learning wherever, whenever, 24/7 at your own pace.
TV, internet, iPod, it's all here. We'll let you know how to access it later in the show. But right now, let's kick off our Māori language journey with everyone's favourite subject, grammar. You love it. You get it. Starting with pronunciation. You can't say anything in Māori without tripping over a dozen vowels. So let's learn the correct way to pronounce vowels in Te Reo Māori. Join in at home. A, E, I, O, U. Now let's meet the macron, that little line over the top of a vowel. In Te Reo Māori, all vowel sounds have two lengths. Trust me, it pays to know the correct length because it affects not only the pronunciation, but also the meaning. Take a look at this example. Keke. Keke means cake. Keke. But if you said keke, you'd be talking about an armpit. So cake and armpit, two things you probably don't want to get confused when asking for a slice of cake. As you can see, longer vowels have a macron over them. Let's learn how to pronounce those vowels correctly. A, E, I, O, U. Time to recap both sets of vowels. Listen for the differences in sound and don't forget to practice along at home. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. That's enough pronunciation practice for now. In the coming months, you're going to get so much exposure to Te Reo Māori, pronunciation will come naturally. Let's move on to our theme for the week. How to greet somebody in Te Reo Māori. If you're meeting someone for the first time, or if you haven't seen someone recently, greetings will usually be accompanied by a handshake, a hongi, or a kiss on the cheek. It also helps to know how to say hello. Let's learn the formal way to greet one person. Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe. Koe means you, and tēnā is the Māori word for that. So literally, that is you. I like to translate this as that's you and not some other imposter. It's a nice way to acknowledge somebody's uniqueness. Tēnā koe. Notice that there's a macron on the e and a of the word tēnā. Remember to make those vowels nice and long. Tēnā koe. It's time to see this in action and time to meet our role-play crew, showing us how to use what we've just learnt in an everyday situation. This week, they're at the park. Now pay close attention because I'm going to test you on this stuff later. Action.
Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe, Mahina. How's things?
Awesome. We're just going to the movies. This is my friend, Rangi.
Tēnā koe, Rangi.
Tēnā koe.
Check this out, bro. It's my new ride.
Great if you're meeting one person, but what if you bump into two people? Well, we get two kisses, which is a good start, and we say tēnā kōrua. Tēnā kōrua. Kōrua translates to you, two people, and can only be used when greeting two people. Tēnā kōrua. Let's give it another go. Tēnā kōrua. Ka pai. Now let's check out our friends at the park using this to greet two people.
That was me moving.
Man, eh? You. Hey, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā kōrua, scoffing your faces.
Well, lucky we bought enough for 3, eh?
What about 3 or more people, I hear you ask? In case you didn't already know, Te Reo Māori's got an answer for everything. Take a look at this. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou. Koutou translates to you 3 or more people and can only be used when greeting, you guessed it, 3 or more people. Let's cross over to our role-play team again to hear them use koutou in an everyday situation at the park. Action.
Hey, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koutou.
And finally, we can't learn how to greet people in Māori and not include our most iconic Kiwi greeting. In Aussie, they say, "G'day, mate." And in New Zealand, "Kia ora hoa." Kia ora, which means literally, good health to you. Kia ora is an informal way of saying hello. It doesn't matter how many people you're talking to. So let's practice all of these greetings one more time to get you ready for some exercises later in the show. Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe. Greetings to one person. Tēnā kōrua. Tēnā kōrua. Greetings to 2 people. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou. Greetings to 3 or more people. Kia ora. Kia ora. An informal greeting for any number of people. Although Te Reo Māori is pretty much the same from one end of the country to the other, many tribes have their own unique way of pronouncing Māori, as well as some unique ways of saying things. So each week we'll get some more insight into tribal dialect. We'll see you after the break.
Te kupu nei kaurua. When I first came across the difference, I put it this way, I learned Māori with my grandparents, and the spelling of it, I didn't know anything about spelling until I came to college, Hato Petera. And then I noticed the difference only when I saw the spelling. And it's mainly from my people from Te Arawa, who I really picked it up from. They were saying kōrua, K-O-R-U-A, and I was saying kōrua. But as I was just explaining, it's the same as koutou, K-O-U-T-O-U, and kōrua is, one on, there's 3 or more, and kōrua is the 2 of you. But it is very common amongst our people up in Hokianga on our marae. That was the common term, kōrua, K-O-U. And it's spelt that way whenever I was looking at some of my old people's writings. Kōrua is K-O-U.
Katipu kaurahi. Katipu kaurahi.
To reinforce what you're learning on Tōku Reo at home, visit our website at www.tokureo.maori.nz. On the homepage, you'll find a link to episodes. Find the episode you'd like to swat up on and click it. Here you'll find a summary of what's in that episode as well as a list of interactive exercises down the right-hand side. Here's an example. Back at the homepage, you'll also find links to the other Te Whanake resources, more exercises, a forum for Tōku Reo viewers, and a free online Māori dictionary. Have fun, kia ū!
Ka tipu, ka ora, hei.
Welcome back. Part 2 is all about vocab. I've got our top 10 Māori words for the day to help you build a modern Māori vocabulary. We'll focus on 5 words to begin with. You'll hear the correct pronunciation of each word and then see how it's spelt. Just for your info, this isn't just some random order raimuna cooked up in the break. It's been designed with proven language learning principles to help you learn words as quickly as possible and retain them. So you hear the word first, then see its written form, and shortly we'll add some visual aids. Okay, in at number 10. Kai, food or meal, kai. Whare, house or building, whare. Rā, sun or day, rā. Kaumātua, elder, kaumātua. Pō, night or darkness, pō. Let's review the same 5 words, but this time we'll add some visual aids to help you remember them. You'll see a video of the word first, then you'll hear the word pronounced correctly, followed by how it's spelt. For all the brain boxes out there, try and guess the word before it's pronounced. Here we go. Kai, food or meal, kai. Whare, house or building, whare. Rā, sun or day, rā. Kaumātua, elder, kaumātua. Pō, night or darkness, pō.
Ka tipu, ka ora, hei.
Now let's check out the next 5. You'll hear the correct pronunciation of each word and then you'll see how it's spelt. Tōku. Tōku means my, referring to one item. Tōku. Reo. Reo refers to language, voice or dialect. Koe. You've already seen this in the greetings we learnt today. Koe means you, one person. Korua, you, 2 people, korua. Koutou, you, 3 or more people, koutou. In this next segment, a video of each word will be shown to help you remember it, followed by the correct pronunciation and finally, how it's spelt. Check it out. Tōku means my, referring to one item. Tōku. Reo refers to language, voice or dialect. Reo. Koe. You've already seen this in the greetings we learnt today. Koe means you, one person. Korua. You, 2 people, korua. Koutou, you, 3 or more people, koutou.
Ka tipu, ka ora, hei.
That's the Te Reo Māori Top 10 for today. You now know that tōku is the Māori word for mine and reo is the Māori word for language. That's Tōku Reo, my language. Don't forget, if you want more practice with these words, visit our website and do the interactive exercises. Let's have one more look at all the new words we've learnt. Remember to say them out loud at home. Kai, food or meal, kai. Whare, house or building, whare. Rā, sun or day, rā. Kaumātua, elder, kaumātua. Pō, pō. Night or darkness, pō. Tōku means my, referring to one item, tōku. Reo refers to language, voice or dialect, reo. Koe. You've already seen this in the greetings we learnt today. Koe means you, one person. Korua. You, two people, korua. Koutou. You, three or more people, koutou.
Katipu, kaurahi.
Each week we'll be joined by Te Taurewhiri, the Māori Language Commission, who will introduce us to a newly created word. These are words that have been invented in recent years to help Te Reo Māori speakers cope with describing the modern world. Words like DVD, internet, etc. This week we'll learn a new word related to the park. Don't forget to come back after the break. We've got those exercises you've been waiting for to test what you've learnt from today's show. And we'll also show you how to get a hold of your iPod lessons. Stick around.
Our new word for this week is taken from the playground, haere or swing. It is a traditional word taken from the days when the tupuna would go into the bush, cut a hanging vine and cling onto it and swing out over the bush or over streams. So we've taken that traditional word and want it to be used today as a swing, haere.
Katipu, kaurahi. Katipu, kaurahi.
To access the podcast, go to www.tokureo.maori.nz and click on episodes. Choose your episode and move the mouse to the right-hand side of the screen where you'll find a link called Podcast. Click this link to download Tōku Reo podcast to your iPod, MP3 player, etc. With video, audio and exercises, you can brush up on your Te Reo Māori skills anywhere, anytime, 24/7. Kia kaha.
Katipu, kaurahi.
Kia ora. Now it's time to really put your brain in overdrive.
That's right, whanau, test time. But don't freak out too much. If you find yourself getting lost, you can visit the Tōku Reo website and take advantage of the interactive exercises and, of course, that iPod technology. Sweet?
Sweet. The first exercise today is multi-choice. A picture will appear of our role-play team and imagine you're meeting them at the park. Based on the number of people you meet, see if you can guess the correct greeting. When your time runs out, the right answer will appear.
Here's an example. How would you greet hine wai? Tēnā koe, tēnā kōrua, o tēnā koutou? Tēnā koe. Okay, let's try one for real. You're not nervous, I hope. Lokura's pretty nervous.
I'm nervous.
Okay, good luck. How would you greet rangi and mahina? Tēnā kōrua. How would you greet rei, rangi and mahina? Tēnā koutou. How would you greet maruia? Tēnā koe. Ka pai. This next exercise is about getting you speaking Te Reo Māori out loud. Loud and proud. We're going to revisit our friends greeting each other at the park.
But just before we hear each greeting, the video will pause and give you a chance to decide which greeting to use. Remember to say it out loud.
The video will then carry on to the next greeting, and you'll know if you're getting the hang of it. Here's an example.
That was me moving.
Yeah.
Hey,
Which greeting should rangi use on Māruia?
Tēnā koe.
Okay, now it's your turn. There's 4 greetings in a row to attempt in this next bit of video. Let's give it a go.
Hey, Sean. Hey.
Which greeting should Ray use on Māruia?
Tēnā koe.
Which greeting should rangi use?
Tēnā koe.
Which greeting should mahina use?
Tēnā koe.
And which greeting should Māruia respond with?
Tēnā koutou.
This last exercise is to test your vocabulary and recall skills. Your task is to try and remember or guess the correct Māori word based on the image that appears. Try and guess the correct answer before the clock runs out and the correct answer is shown. Here's an example. Food or meal? Kai. Here's the other 9 from today's top 10. See how well you can remember them. House or building? Whare. Sun or day? Ra. Elder. Kaumātua. Night or darkness? Pō. Mai, referring to one item. Tōku. Language, voice or dialect. Reo. You, one person. Koe. You, 2 people. Korua. You, 3 or more people. Koutou.
Katipu, kaurahi.
I think we've worked our brains hard enough for one day, but we've got one last item for you before we sign off.
Each week we'll be bringing you some learning tips to help you make the most of your study. Here's this week's tip.
Tēnā koutou. Learning new vocabulary is a very important part of learning any language, and there are a number of ways you could do this. One way is to put the new word on a little card with the meaning on the back. And when you've collected a number of cards, you put them into a pile and you go through each card, you say the word, you think about what it means, and then you check the meaning on the back of the card. Then you put the words you know in one pile and the words you don't know in another, and then you go back and do the words you don't know. You can turn this into a competition between yourself and your family or your friends. So that's this week's learning tip.
Katipu, kaurahi.
Stay busy till next time. Visit tokureo.maori.nz where you'll find interactive exercises based on today's show, as well as other Te Whanake resources to improve your fluency, including a free online Māori dictionary called Te Aka for help with learning the new vocab. These are all tools to practice what you've learnt today, and more importantly, you'll be able to learn at your own pace. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too, so it's pretty mean. There's a link there to the podcast that are available to download onto iPods or other MP3s so that you can take Te Reo Māori with you everywhere you go. Man, sis, on the bus, at the gym, Hawaii.
You wish. Throughout the rest of the weeks, we'll be reinforcing and building on what we've learnt today. And in the next episode, we'll be placing you in the middle of a 100% Te Reo Māori conversation with a native speaker. So you get to see that what you're learning is the real deal.
No point in putting off destiny.
Join us again.
Kia mau.
Kia u
Ki Tōku Reo.
Ko Tōku Reo Māori, he reo rangatira. He ara putama, he ara pūnamu e. Mā te whakaro mō, mā te kōrero kamarama. Ko tipu, ko rahi.
He mea tau toko na te manga.
Kai pāho.